Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. This is Jesus Manuel Menegares. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are at. I'm currently in my Rockwood Mini Lite 2205S 2022 edition. I'm camping at Meridian State Park, about an hour and a half south of my home in Fort Worth, Texas. I will be here for several days. Today's my first actual day here, so I decided to produce a video. Hope you enjoy it. It's going to be rather esoteric in certain elements and rather useful in other parts. I'm going to be making coffee, making food, showing you what's in my refrigerator, what my rig looks like, and show you some of the sights around here, and then do a little fishing and also a little cycling and hiking. Hope you enjoy this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them below. Abajo. Muchos gracias. Again, I'm at Meridian State Park. It's Tuesday, November 14th. It was a fabulous, absolutely fabulous day for weather here in Meridian, Texas. First, that's the coffee I made just a few minutes ago. I really like this hazelnut sugar-free creamer. Works for me. And this contains a mix of decaf and calf hazelnut. And this is my coffee, and this is my second cup. After I finish this coffee, making this coffee, I put it over here so it doesn't make a big mess. It's my percolator. Not necessarily a percolator, but it's a tea kettle, and that's where I warm my water. And it's plugged in right there. I had to turn on the inverter power so to get it to work. Last night when it got chilly, I turned on the heater. Makes a little bit of noise, and you can turn up and down the flame effect. So that's my little space heater. Kept me warm pretty good last night. I had it set for around 65, and I had no problem. Did that, no problem. Last night, before I went nighty-night, I watched some YouTube, some Amazon, etc., etc. Some Prime Video. It was a piece of cake since just about 200 feet that way is the Wi-Fi signal from the park. Let me back up here and show you what we got. There's the bed. Under there is, if I lift it up, there are some various blankets. I originally had this one that I bought in Douglas, Arizona when it was freezing, when I was doing some truck bed camping. But I decided to pull out one of the nicer blankets, and that's working out pretty good. Again, I bought this in Douglas, Arizona when it was super, super cold, and I was truck bed camping. I said, hey, let's go to the Douglas, Arizona Walmart and grab something. There's my two zero-gravity chairs. They just stay there pretty much. They're pretty heavy. They're not easy to move around. They're pretty heavy for this old fart. Yeah, they're rather heavy. There's my bottoms for sleeping, my pajama bottoms, my reading glasses, my phone, my wallet, my keys, several pillows. I set them up. I usually put them all on one side when I'm sleeping at night, and I just have one pillow. Over there is my camera bag for my Lumix G85. I have a couple tripods. I have a small tripod here. Both are Benros. This is a larger one. This is a cinematic quality video head, and right in the middle is my DJI Pocket 2 case. Over there I have my hiking shoes, my super sturdy hiking shoes, and my really high quality hiking shoes from the folks at Keen. I really like those shoes. Oops. I banged into my garbage bag, my garbage can rather. I sit there most of the time watching the tube, and it's very easy for me to eat, and after I'm done eating, toss garbage there, like cans, TV dinner plates, disposable stuff, napkins. I just toss it right there. Since my wife usually sits over there, I put a lot of stuff over there, so it makes it easier for me. But I do miss my old lady, I must admit. This is my laptop computer, my MacBook Pro, and 16-inch in my Nikon, full frame, digital camera, and it's there. I plan to do some landscapes, And with this, I do plan to do some editing. And I have my 2 remotes. My Furrion TV remote and my Fire Stick, my Amazon Fire Stick remote. Again, super convenient to have this little garbage can right here to toss in all my stuff. My wife, again, usually sits there. She moves right there. But today she's not here. I sequestered my pots and pans that I have in there right now. These 2 areas have pots and pans. I sequestered them in this little box here, my plastic box that I had in the back of my truck, because these 2 have flown out and I've replaced the slides. And these drawers, you know, where they hook in the rails, hook into the slides, hook into the wood here is a piece of crap wood, so it's not good. Same over here with these 3. I had to replace them. And again, this is my coffee. You saw earlier. My stovetop, I put a piece of cloth here so when it's going down the road it doesn't shatter immediately. There's a piece that I have to replace down here. It already came off. Coming on my almost 2-year anniversary, and a piece of the stove came off, so I have to find out where it goes and reconnect it. Hey, more work for me, huh? There's my sink. My wife has some Simple Green here. We have some dish soap and some hand soap. We have 2 stainless steel sinks and a little cover here. Let's take a tour of the bathroom. The big differentiator from me and a lot of you is that I do not toss my TP and buy that expensive TP, you know, that RVTA. I just use regular TP and put in these containers here, and they have liners on them. And I put them in there after I'm done going over here, okay? So, sink, toothpaste, hand soap. I forgot the bar soaps. I don't have that. And then it has some paper towels, a cup, a towel, a larger towel, and like a lot of folks out there, I have the upgraded shower wand. Over here is where I have the chemicals for the toilet, the RV digesting stuff, and some spare toilet paper. This is the toilet paper that when I bought it 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, they gave me. Still have it. Odds and ends that my wife keeps. I'm not using the water filter this trip. And there we are, some towels. And there's a towel right there. So what do you think? Over here I have some bags. And in this right here, this little sack, I have about, I think 5 DVDs, not Blu-rays, just basic DVDs that work, you know, with my DVD player right over here, so I can play some DVDs if things didn't work out. Here's some. It's right now showing my slideshow on Alexa here. So that's it right there. So what do you think? Let's go outside and take a quick peek, okay? Let's go outside. That fridge does make some noise. This is my patio area, my campsite. Talk about a big sewer, huh? They do a good job of cleaning the facilities here. They're very clean. Excellent job. It's a bit of a slope right here. And there's a griddle. Very nice. And a very nice, very clean picnic table. You have a couple hooks right here. And I do not know where this trail goes, but it looks like this trail goes somewhere down that way. The lake is that way. Maybe it goes to the lake. I'll have to check it out. I have plenty of time. So that's what the campsite floor looks like. And there's my truck and my Rockwood Mini Lite 2205S 2022 edition. In about a half hour, an hour, maybe two, who knows? Whenever I feel like it, I guess. I'm gonna go for a bike ride. I brought my bike that I bought, I think in 1997 in San Francisco, Banyon bike shop in the Haight-Ashbury when I was living down there. Very nice. Fond memories of living in the Haight-Ashbury. It's a Gary Fisher bike. I've had a lot of issues with the connections because this is elevated. So from here to there, it's actually going up. Yeah, it's not good. There's my setup. I have an elbow, a flexible piece of hose, my pressure relief valve set to around 38 pounds per square inch, and my basic water filtration system, my Flexzilla hose, and again, there's my sewage setup. Over here I have my Power Watchdog 30 amp Smart Surge Protector, EPU, very nice, 30 amp. Of course this has 30 amp, 50 amp, and standard residential. There's my water connection. My tongue for my RV. I have a battery box I bought from U-Haul, and I have two AO lithium batteries in there. They work absolutely fantastic. They're not in there this time. They're actually at home. I just put a small little 40 amp hour sealed lead acid battery in there for this trip. I have a couple locks. And of course I have my HoloView side marker and backup camera, so I'm going to leave home without them. No way would I leave home without them. So here's another view of my campsite. In this segment I'm going to be showing you how to make a basic Chicano, Mexican-American slacker burrito. My mom used to make everything by hand. Tortillas by hand, tamales by hand, menudo by hand, breakfast, lunch, and dinner by hand, cakes, pies, the list goes on, by hand. She'd make it from scratch. This guy, nothing by scratch. So I'm going to show you how to make a breakfast burrito, slacker style, and I'll show it to you right now. Let me turn around the camera. So here are the ingredients. Let's start off right here. Jimmy Dean, can't get more American than that. Jimmy Dean. Sausage is eggs, potatoes, sausage, and cheddar cheese. This just goes in the microwave. Of course, you take it out of the box, follow the instructions. And then this is the key part to understand about this slacker burrito. It's Guerrero tortillas de harina caseras. Caseras means essentially home style. So just like at home. These are different than most tortillas that you get at the store because you see those little brown specks? It's actually been toasted a little bit. It's actually cooked It's not raw. A lot of folks just eat raw tortillas, but you can just toss this in the microwave for 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and it's ready to go. So this in the microwave, plus this in the microwave, and you're set. So I'm going to cook this first, and then I'll show you and I'll assemble the burrito. Let me just show you also the sauces. You have a variety of sauces that are available. This is one of my favorite, Bobby Salazar's authentic Mexican food salsa verde hot green salsa. And of course, Herdes is a Mexican brand, and they make some very nice salsa casera, hot, of course. And then, of course, Trader Joe's. A lot of you folks only go to Trader Joe's. It's jalapeno sauce, a spicy and flavorful sauce made with fresh jalapenos as compared to vintage jalapenos. So there's my setup. Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, sausage, tortillas, casera, jalapeno sauce, salsa casera, or fresh salsa. You have options. You have options. Or you could just not even put in the salsa and just call it a, eggs, potato, sausage, and cheddar cheese bowl. What do you think? So I've taken the bowl out of the microwave. It was in there for 2 minutes, and it still needs another minute. You're supposed to stir it. So I added a tiny bit of butter, and now I'm going to stir it a tiny bit of butter just to add a little flavor. Some of you may say, hey, my cholesterol's too high already. I can't add butter. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor said I have the best cholesterol of everybody in his office. And so I can have butter. Hey, one of the few things I can have. So I'm going to put this back in the microwave for another minute. So I'm making RV Slacker Mexican style burritos. It's time to assemble the burrito. Essentially, we have the concoction down here. I can smell the butter. It definitely has a little flavor. My wife does not need me to tell her that butter tastes good. She loves butter on everything. So let me just pour half of it on one burrito. There it is, one burrito to go. And you put it right there. So I'll make one without salsa and the other one with salsa. Let me put that piece of mess there. And there we are, we have a burrito. I always do it this way. I fold the bottoms and then I twirl it out like this. And then there you are. A very nice burrito. Let's do number two. Let me put this down. I dropped a potato. Tastes good. And now we're going to make the second one. So let's say you're on a hot date at the RV park. You just hooked up with someone and say, hey, come on down for dinner, for breakfast. And you can make these burritos. There's still a bit of cheese here, does not want to come off. There it goes. This one, I'm going to add a little salsa, a little fresh salsa. There's that salsa. Let me show you the close-up of the salsa. What do you think? It looks pretty good, huh? And we're going to add it here and there. Some of you like more salsa than others. Again, my mom used to make salsa practically every day and put it on the old kitchen table in a molcajete, a little special Mexican-style container. And we used to all eat that salsa and throw it in our burritos, tacos, etc., etc. So there we are. Two burritos, one with salsa, one without salsa. Let me put that right here so you can see it. One with salsa, one without salsa, and of course we have plenty of salsa. I can always add it to the plain one after you're not looking, okay? So let me do a quick test of my burrito here, but first let me just give you a little history of my experiences with burritos. I remember back in elementary school, back in the 50s and 60s, early 60s, very early 60s, that I would take burritos that my mom would make. My mom would make burritos for me to take to school, and she put them in an old bag that was previously used to hold some bread. We did eat bread, but most of the time we ate tortillas and wrapped food in them, inside of them. So I felt embarrassed. I felt seriously embarrassed showing a burrito when I was eating lunch at my elementary school in San Jose, California. But as you very well know now, burritos are now ubiquitous. Everywhere people are eating burritos. You can see every ethnicity having a burrito at the different restaurants and stuff like that. So here's to my burrito. I already had a little bite. It's actually quite tasty. And of course, it's easy to make. All you need is some this is a Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl. And some salsa. And of course, some tortillas. If you don't use this brand of tortillas that don't have the little brown spots, haven't been pre-toasted, you're gonna have to toast them ahead of time. You're gonna have to put them on a skillet or on a griddle and toast them up, each side, 10, 15, 20 seconds. It all matter how hot your griddle is. And then you can have this. But those casera ones make it really easy because you can stick them where? In the old microwave for 30 seconds and you're good. So this is Jesus Manuel Menegarza showing you how to make burritos. Estilo slacker style, okay? Time for a little bike ride in my old 30-year-old Gary Fisher mountain bike. Bought this in San Francisco. Again, 30 years ago. That's been quite a while and it's held up very nicely. One thing I like about this park, it has a lot of diversity. Various campgrounds for RV and for tent camping. Let me turn around the camera and get out of this bright light, first of all, so you can see some of the campsites. This is the opposite side of where I am. I'm over there on the other side of the lake. This is the opposite side. This campsite is available, number 24. Has a spot for 2 vehicles, 2 small Class A, Bs, or Cs. You can park them right here. Say you're tent camping, but you park and stay in your RV instead. Hey, no hookups that I can see, but beautiful trees. What do you think of this vista? There's a little creek right there, and it feeds into the lake. If you have plenty of battery and fill up with water, and there are stations here where you get water, dumps, whatever you need, they have it here. Even a little tiny store that sells souvenirs. Here's the picnic table. Nice picnic table, aluminum, not beat up, in good shape. Again, there's the old bridge over there. And there's a little creek that comes down. You have 1, 2 areas where you can cook, and it has a stump over there. I don't know what you can use a stump for. I guess a chair. It's a beautiful day. Tuesday, November 13, and the temperatures are in the high 60s, low 70s, and you can't complain about that. It was supposed to be raining all this week, and I plan to, wash off the old RV via rain, but that never happened, so I'm going to have to be happy and content that it's sunny, clear, and absolutely gorgeous. What do you think of this view? Again, across the way, that's where I'm at, over there somewhere. That's the little park where you can rent boats, etc. And then beyond that is where I'm at. I can see some loons and plenty of habitat for fish, frogs, and such. So let's head back. So leave your comments below and tell me what you think of this site. Again, it's a very pleasant site on a pleasant day. I seriously can't ask for much more. Beautiful weather, plenty of sun, and wide open spaces here. A lot of people not camping because it's the off season essentially. It's not the weekend or winter break or spring break. And again, they do an excellent job of maintaining their fire pits. You don't come to your fire pit and find trash, plastic, people's garbage. They actually do an excellent job here at Meridian State Park. I have to congratulate them for maintaining the facilities. And there's a little spot where you can sit and hang out with your family, and plenty of spots for tents. One there, one there, one over there, one over there, one over there, one over there. You can bring 5 good-sized tents, and you have parking space for 2 vehicles at least. Across the way is number 25. Right here is what's this number again? This is number 24. Absolutely fabulous. Again, I drove around from that side. I drove around and came down here. It's about 1 mile. This is number 25, just to show you something a little bit different. And this is also available. The weekend warriors pretty much, control parks all across the United States, state parks especially. But during the weekday, all us elders, old folks, have an opportunity to camp because we have a more flexible schedule. Another stump, a grill, and nice table, another grill, another stump, hooks, and again, parking for 1, 2 vehicles right here. And you're right next to the bosque, which means forest in Spanish essentially. Bosque hiking trail. The forest hiking trail, and goes down here quite a bit. And it's, it's not, sharp rocks or serious inclines or whatever. It's easygoing, super easygoing hiking here. And there's my truck. I'm headed to do some fishing, so I'm going to head that direction. Here's another campsite, number 26. Numero 26, and that's available, of course. And I'm parked right now at this time at number 27. Somebody was very generous and left a piece of wood for you to, that's already pre-charred slightly, but ready for some serious burning right here on the very clean, again, super clean, well-maintained grills here at Meridian State Park. This is one of my favorite fishing spots. Not that I've been here many times, only been here one time before, but it is my favorite fishing spot as of this year. There's a campsite right over there. Very nice, conveniently located. That's number 30, and it's a tent camping location. No water, no electricity, no nothing. It's a tent camping site, apparently, or a day use site also. Across the way is number 31, and it's available. It says A on it. Very pleasant location if you want to take the kids tent camping. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I can see 1, 2, 3 tents. Good sized tents. If you're in the market for a tent, I'd recommend trying out some of these hub tents. They're really easy to put together. They take a lot of space lengthwise. They're pretty long. But other than that, not designed for backpacking, but for, throw in the back of your truck, etc. So here's number 31. And right here's a sign for the Bosque Trail. And of course, across the way over there is the docks, boat rental area. And I was over there earlier, just down over there where the river has an outlet and a little bridge. So what do you think of this campsite? Again, number 31, 31 para todos ustedes que hablan español. And again, the trail just, meanders that way. Very nice, very nice. So I'm going to be fishing over here for a bit. Maybe I'll catch something. I brought some worms. My wife reminded me, say, Jesus, don't forget to bring your worms. It's very important that you bring your worms. Typical for a lot of my videos, I tend to be very detailed. I like to show a lot of stuff. And of course, you can download a very nice map of this park online at the State of Texas website for campgrounds. And here's a list of the fish that you can catch or attempt to catch. Largemouth bass, spotted bass, smallmouth bass, Guadalupe bass. That G in Guadalupe is essentially a W, Guadalupe, and it's actually an Arabic word, not a Spanish word. All kinds of great fish here. So I'm headed back to the truck, get my fishing gear. Wish me luck. So I'm at the end of the wharf pier. What do you call this? Boat ramp? I have friends in California who write for fishing magazines and go fishing in the Pacific Ocean, the various lakes in the Sierras. They're always showing me pictures of them catching all kinds of fantastic salmon, steelhead. The list goes on and on. So this is my setup. I basically have my pole here. Way over there, about 30 feet away, is my bobber with a worm in it. So, nothing fantastic. There's the basic opportunities for catching fish here. And in my cooler, I have a couple beverages, a couple diet colas, my fishing bait, which are worms, and some water and a pear. That should suffice. This is my little cooler I take everywhere. So it's about time I bring that line in because I'm not getting any action. Again, I'm the worst probably fisherman you're ever going to meet. The last, I think, 6 times, half dozen times I've gone fishing, I've caught nothing. Again, I am horrible. If you have any advice, leave it below how to fish in the great state of Texas. Let me turn on the camera. Ooh-wee! It's a little sunny. It's a very nice day. I love this weather. I absolutely love this weather. So it's about, I estimate 72, 73, 74 degrees. I don't know. But you get this little subtle cool breeze. And it's relatively quiet here. There's a highway over there. Sometimes you hear it. I call it a highway. It's a road. I'm now on the other side of the lake. Not much luck over here. I did catch a tiny smallmouth bass, and I tossed him back in. Got quite a few bites over here. Let me turn around the camera, show you where I'm at. There's my line. It's going straight down. I'm going to stick around for another 15 minutes. Maybe I'll catch something. You never ever know. Thanks for checking out my video on Meridian State Park. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. The main reason I'm at Meridian State Park again is because my wife's out of town, so I decided, hey, let's do some camping an hour and a half down the road in Meridian, Texas. During the weekdays, as I noted earlier, it's pretty much vacant. All the seniors who have a more flexible schedule are, all over this place, hanging out and camping. So that's a lot of fun, huh? For us older folks during the weekends. A lot of weekend warriors out there. They're in summer. It's packed with families, tricycles, bicycles, etc., etc. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And leave your kind and friendly comments below, abajo, and ring the bell for future notificaciones. And check out my Patreon page if you have the cash. $1, $2, $5 a month. I would greatly appreciate it. At patreon.com/JMMGarza. From Meridian State Park, hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.